Hey, how's it going everyone? This is Mike. It is Tuesday, May 14th, and today I just want to quickly go over 3 topics I've been working on. So number 1, I want to touch upon my trading indicator and how profitable the signals have been for my members these past few months. Number 2, I want to quickly go over some recent coins I've added to my trading list. And number 3, I want to do some personal technical analysis on Bitcoin and where I think it's going to go in the short term. So if you're new to my channel, you're probably looking at this chart wondering where these buy and sell signals came from. So basically what I did here is I created a script, and that script looks at various different trading indicators and it trades based on market trend. So imagine like the perfect storm of indicators. When those signals align and give a bullish signal that the market's going to go up, then I get one of these buy signals. And vice versa, when the signals align tell me the market's going to go down, it's going to be a bearish move, then I get one of these sell signals. And this is completely automated. These signals are sent to my members 24/7 hours a day, and if you have something called Gunbot, when you get these signals you can trade automatically the second you receive them, and that's currently what I do. Now you don't need the trading bot, it just makes it easier when you get the signal because you might get a buyer signal in the middle of the night when you're sleeping, and if you had the trading bot then it will trade for you while you're sleeping. But anyways, let's move on. If you take a look at these months from like February to March, not much happened. There was a bunch of sideways trading, and because my trading script looks for the change in market trend to either bullish or bearish, there's just a bunch of fighting right now between the bulls and the bears, so it's not issuing great signals, as you can see, because the market's trading sideways, not much is happening. So if you take a look over here, this is either very small wins or very small losses. But that's understandable because the market's trading sideways and not much is actually going on. No profits are being made by anyone right now. Now these past few months things are starting to change and we're starting to see clear trends, which my trading signal works best with. And just to take a quick look on how accurate it's been this past month, let's go ahead and do some price bars. So as you can see right here, 26% profit was made. Over here there was a loss of 3%. Gain of 0.77, so nothing to write home about. But here's one that's gone up quite a bit, 40%. So as you can see, we haven't got the sell signal for this recent move yet, but because there's such a clear trend line, these signals are going to be good from here on out. So recently there's been some changes and updates on which coins this script is currently running on. So number 1, I used to trade Bitcoin to Tether, and the reason for that was because there was more volume in Tether. But now I've transitioned over to Bitcoin/USD on Bittrex. So now when we trade into USD, we know that's backed by 1-to-1 by US currency, and you don't have to worry about any problems that Tether could have in the future because we're not touching Tether at all anymore. Recently I've added Cardano/Bitcoin pairing to my membership trading signals. So if you become a member, you'll be getting signals for this pairing as well. And the reason why I just added it is because if you look back previous months, there's been a lot of sideways trading. As you can see, not much has happened in the past 170 days because there's just a constant battle between the bulls and the bears, and like I mentioned before, that the indicator doesn't work too well during that kind of movement. It's only when there's a clear trend that the indicator really shines. So now that we're seeing a clear trend, I added it to the list. Looks like there's some good profits to be made here as well. Here's a signal that produced 60% profit. And this sell signal is really good too if you were holding on to Cardano, because if you take a look, it dropped an additional 42%. So right now we're just waiting to see another buy signal and hopefully get another nice trend movement and another nice profit percentage that we've seen over here. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my algorithmic trading hat indicator off, and I'm going to do some personal technical analysis on Bitcoin and where I think it's going to go in the short term. So what I did here was I ran a reverse Fibonacci on the highest point to the lowest point, and this helps me measure where the 50% line is, because that's going to be really important when it comes to trading. So as you can see, the 50% line is this red one here, and it's going to be extremely hard to break past this. Most likely we're going to hit it a few times before we break past it. So it's important to keep note of these levels. So let me go ahead and zoom in. So right now it looks like we're dealing with two major resistance points. Number one is the 0.382 of their Fibonacci retracement. Now a lot of people trade by the Fibonacci retracement, so it's really important that you keep note of these levels, like I mentioned before. So this gray line, that's going to be some serious resistance, along with this dotted line, because as you can see where I'm circling, this was previous resistance before. So it's going to be really tough breaking through these two lines we're currently at. So basically there's a lot of people on the sidelines right now. They're seeing Bitcoin has been going up 10%, 15% these past few days or weeks, and they're thinking, okay, well maybe now things are changing and I'm going to buy in. And if they were to buy in right now, that would not be a good idea because the risk to reward ratio is very small. But before I get into risk and reward ratio, I mean, it's almost just common sense, guys. If something has gone up 100% almost straight up within 50 days, then of course there's going to be a retracement soon. You would not want to buy in at this time. Now if we do get another upward push, it's not going to be straight up from here. It's going to trade sideways a little bit over at this 0.382 line, and if it does that, it's basically going to form a flag just like it did here. So if we see a flag forming right here, then there might be another opportunity we're going to go higher. And if you're wondering how higher we're going to go, it would most likely be to this 50% line or this right here, this resistance, which is basically the same thing. So if you see a flag forming and wondering if you should get in or not, I would wait until it gets past this dotted line, because this is the previous resistance over here. And if it does, there's a very high likelihood that it will go up to either this green line or this red line. So from 8,500 to 10,000, it sounds like a lot of profit to be made, but considering how high the prices recently went, and if you draw one of these risk-reward graphs up here, you can see it's only a 0.68 risk-reward ratio, which is not good at all. What I like to do is I like to stay at least at 1.4 or higher. So basically, just from a manual trading point of view, if I was on the sidelines considering if I should buy Bitcoin right now or not, I would not. Even though in the long run I'm super bullish on Bitcoin, I believe it's going to go over $50,000, in the short term I do not believe it's the right time to buy Bitcoin. Now if I was on the sidelines waiting to get back into Bitcoin as soon as possible, I would keep an eye at this level right here. I believe this level is going to be the new support line. So me personally, I still believe there's a lot of manipulation in the market, and that's because the market is still so small. Until the market gets a lot bigger, what I basically trade on is my indicator, because that gives me a signal right when a big move happens. So if you're interested in learning about my trading signals, go ahead and visit altcointradingsignal.com. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. Alright, see you later, guys.